I was pooping. There's a big difference. Oh, who lives in a doghouse under the sea?
Rocky SquarePants.
Yeah, a little bit of an update. Come here. Come here. Stop moving. He's developed 2 more of these spots. So we need to... We have an appointment on the 8th, but the fact that they're multiplying is not a good thing. Here, hold on. Yeah, so he's got 1 more there and 1 more on the inside of his gum. So our hope is that they're benign polyps, but... Grayson! What's up, son? Chris, what's going on? Not much. But he's had an appetite today, but he also had diarrhea really bad. So I don't know if something's affecting him, but he's been very happy and very positive. Shake. Yep. So, no, it doesn't have it doesn't meet the criteria for a cancerous tumor in that it's not, hold on. Sorry, bud. Sorry. Let me see it. You see, it's not growing in a, well... Yeah, it's got a little bit of a cauliflower appearance. So thankfully the donations have allowed me to set up his appointment to get him looked at. But also he's probably the most patient guy I've ever met. Did you just see that? He just let me grab his face like that. But that's what your donations are going to. So just want you guys to know that. Yeah, hopefully they're benign. But if not, I will literally sell everything I own to take care of this little fucker. Isn't that right, buddy? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you see my new gun on the Discord? I did not. I can't jump to it right now because the Discord's on this phone and I don't have the same hard drive in my main computer. What kind did you get, brother? All right. Yeah. Yep. Don't like that. Here, smile. Yeah. Poor guy. What'd you get, bro? Let me go to the thing, and I'm going to hook you up to the battery. Also, I cleaned my fucking desk. That was soy sauce from dinner. But, yeah, I cleaned my desk to make it look a little better. You're eating K-pot right now? You saying that my dog made you think about that? Holy shit, I didn't realize I could do that. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I don't do it because I'm usually looking other stuff up. You want a snack? Rocky, you want a snack? You want a snack? Chris, thank you. Yeah, he's an amazing dog. That's why whatever this is, it's getting taken care of. I'm not one of those guys that go, oh, well, I guess Doggo's going to the farm. Fuck that. You guys need him to make it, because if he doesn't, I go on a killing spree. Ugh, and y'all think I'm kidding. Which is kind of the funny thing. Milkbone? All right, buddy. Yep, there you go. Go lay down. Oh, you got the ASFS Tactical. Is that the full rail? I think that's the full rail, right? One second. Just getting the camera set up and stuff, getting the shot right. I'm a cinematographer. Yep. Yeah, I've had a couple of those in my day, man. I love that style. The full dust cover, I don't know what it is about having a full dust cover on the gun. Just looks so much better in my opinion. All right, kind of get rid of the blank space. There we go. That'll work. You watched my vid on it? Cool. Yeah, my buddy Charlie Brown actually has that gun, the one I did the video on. If yours was a single stack. I sold that to him a long time ago. He's never given it up. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. No, he's actually got 2 more polyps that have formed, unfortunately. And I'm not doing any better either because blood. So yeah, neither one of us are doing good right now, Stone. We're doing our best to get by. Wait until the end of the month, pay my rent, pay my car payments, pay my card payments, and then just kind of sit back and wait and see what happens. It only came with one mag. Yeah, Rock Island is actually notorious for doing that. T-Sauce used to do that. Gerson used to do that. They both used to only provide one magazine with their guns. T-Sauce was the first one to start offering double mags with their guns, and it's made a lot of the difference. So how long do you think this one's about to be? What, the injury recovery time? At the rate it's going, I have a doctor's appointment on the 1st for my foot, the 8th for him, the 3rd I have 2 CT scans, and a follow-up with my primary care physician. So you bet it's plugged. Why would the mag be plugged? Did you get a 45 or a 9? Even a 9 would be a 10 rounder. Fucking Illinois. I was gonna watch the stream and install my new Hemi. I've been at it all day. Hey man, at least you got it taken care of quickly. I know some people that run into that kind of problem and they just let the problem sit forever and it never gets fixed. So, dude, the fact that you're being so proactive is friggin' amazing, man. Yeah, so 9 double stack. I believe I didn't put hands on it yet. Oh, well, you got. Oh no, that's right. I traded it off. Yeah, the double stack. I had that in the store as early as this month.
Look at all them chickens.
Yeah. Put your tag behind your back, Betty. Come on, Greg. There you go. Wait, that's Gary. Yeah, I don't want to mess up my favorite truck. I hear you, brother. My dad's been, so my dad has his remanufactured engine that they bored out a little bit. It's overbore, so instead of 345 cubic inches, I think it's like 360 cubic inches. So now it's like a 5.9, something like that. I think he said it was overboard. I can't remember. But yeah, he's had that on the stand since he got it. He's installed almost all the parts on it. Now, he went so far as to buy every component for his engine brand new, so it's going to be like a brand new truck when it's done, man. I made fun of him before COVID because he started buying parts for that thing back in like 18, 19. Started rebuilding it right when COVID hit. So the frame is mostly restored. All the suspension's been replaced. All the brakes, exhaust, drivetrain from the drive shaft to the rear end. The only original mechanical components in that vehicle are the engine and the transmission. He redid the seats himself, redid everything inside the truck. We pulled the bed off it. He's redone the bottom of the bed, did the coating on the bed. Would you shut the fuck up? I found a problem with that cheap-ass Chinese handprint scanner. So in case y'all didn't see it before. So this company sent me this thing, right? Zegis, it's kind of a cool concept. They say they're coming out with a steel-bodied one. I got to do a video on it. However, this fucking sensor tries to look for a hand constantly and always fucking beeps. So, yeah. Any changes in light or any sensed movement and it tries to go off. However, it's kind of cool because it does work really well. But, yeah. So the Rock Island will not work with map mags. Maps are CZ75 based. You need para ordnance, Mechgar para ordnance P 1838s. Go to Hinterland Outfitters, I believe was the name of the company I got them from. I got the 9mm double stack mags. Now, there's 2 different versions. If you got the one with the magwell, you're going to need the competition base plate ones. But if you buy the regular ones, you can trim the front of the mag plate without damaging the mags. And you can get those for like 19 bucks. Do I sell them? I don't have any in stock, but I can find them for you. Yeah, I'll send you an email. Paul, what's up? Not much going on, man. Just kind of moving on and moving on. What's up, Joshua? How you doing tonight, brother? What day is it even? Friday. Okay, it's Friday. How many of y'all got hit with Black Friday today, man? KCA, why is it crazy? It's just a wall of guns, man. I'm a gun tuber. I'm a gun reviewer, so they're guns for my channel. It's what I need. Ooh, bada bada bing, yeah. What channel am I looking at? Price alert. Super intelligence alleging. Oh, it's up 5%. Don't know how many guns I have. I'm okay, no Black Friday for me. Black Friday is not what it used to be, man. Now Black Friday is all digital. It's all online. You buy stuff and you live with it, right? So, it's going to go off constantly, too. I don't do any shopping today. Oh, my dad picked up a Shadow, too. Tell your dad that's freaking awesome, man. If he decides to go with the Romeo 1, tell him to find that rear sight if his isn't cut. I kind of like the way it looks on there. I don't give a shit that it's a SIG sight because SIG sells their sights independently. It's like throwing a Trigicon on it or any other brand. Do I have a SIG 226? Not anymore. I need to get a new one. I've got a SIG Pro 320, 365 fuse, and an M17. And if you ever wonder why I don't have the mags installed in the rifles, it's because with the mags installed, they'll interfere with other guns. So I don't leave the mags installed, but I do put the mags up on the wall with them. So I emailed my buddy today, Joey. If you're in here tonight, obviously Grayson and Stone. I emailed my buddies about getting the shirts and the hoodies made. So, what's your opinion on 38 Super? So I have a STI Grandmaster that's chambered in 38 Super Major, and I really like the round. It's really good for the competition guns. However, in practical applications, I see no difference between a 38 Super and a 9. Like, if I was doing chronographing and all that other shite, there would be a difference. But in terms of real world normal shooting, 9 is fine. A lot of people don't realize 38 Super was invented in 1927. Did you know that? Who made an FRT? How the hell did they make an FRT? It doesn't use springs for the trigger. You've got the metal flare that's removable. Well, yeah, if you have the metal flare, the metal frame, metal magwell that's removable, then yeah, you can just take it off and run the stock mags. Don't worry about the hoodie. I'll just keep donating. No, it's my choice to help to take care of my people that love me, man. Best 45 for carry. If you're talking about the ammo, I carry Hornady Critical Duty, Hornady Critical Defense. Holy fucking shut up! Shut up! I carry Hornady Critical Duty, Critical Defense. Not you, buddy. Sorry. I hate getting aggressive because my dog thinks I'm being mean to him. My dog is the bestest dog ever. You still have the Firestar? Yes, I do. What are you doing? I'm messing with the safe that this Chinese company sent me. It's really cool because it uses your palm print to open. But unfortunately, it also looks for somebody the entire time it's on. It's a bar one. Watch a YouTuber who does FRT only videos, and he showed it on a short. I might have to check that out. The hoodies are $45 plus shipping, so $55. And you're unable to turn the little fucker off. I mean, if I don't move or speak or think, it'll go off. Also, I dropped it and chipped it. Have I shot 6 hours ammo? If you're talking about their 365 ammo, yes, I have. That ammo is designed for 3-inch barrels or shorter, or 3-inch barrels, so short barrels. It's designed to burn the powder more quickly, so it does work. The revolver you got is in 38. Nice. He said your 1911 has to have a certain cut in it. Did he say it has to be a Series 80? I'll email you pretty soon if it's up for adoption. We can see, Paul. Just put it in a different room. Easy solution. Yeah, but here's the deal. It's supposed to be made to sit by your bedside. What do you do in the middle of the night when it's just sitting there going, deet, deet, deet? It's like when my grandma was getting old and she had one of those silly little pacemakers that beat, deet, deet every time she had him in arrhythmia. So half the day she's just sitting there next to you. Everybody's quiet. You're eating something. Then all of a sudden, Take the batteries out. You can't. It's got a lithium ion that's inside of it somewhere. I'd have to take the whole thing apart. How often are you going to have to charge the battery in it? In this thing or in my pacemaker? I haven't charged it yet, and it still has 3/4 of a charge, and I'm sure it came from China. So I think if I open it and then close it, it turns off the red light that's on it. So let me get his channel name real quick. Yeah, let me know, Michael. I'd be interested in seeing that. Now, I'm not going to put an FRT in my 1911, but it'd be interesting to see. I honestly think an FRT will ruin the trigger feel, though. Nah, it's fine for now. It's not beeping right now. But can that PC behind you run Doom? Not only can it run Doom, it can run Crysis. Grayson is the stream emperor. Grayson is an amazing dude, man. He's been with me since he was a kid. Wait, that sounds like I groomed him. He's been around since he was a younger adult. Also, I didn't realize I'm off camera this much. Y'all just want to see the guns anyways. It's fine. No way. I almost said Crisis, lols. Yeah. There we go. So I have a second Steam account that I'm going to start using for my night streaming of Ghost of Tabor, because my main account I play a certain way, so I'm playing a second way on my second account. Joe did not groom me. Shit, you just told everybody you know my real name. Now we're all screwed. His name is Sioux Citizen, and it's a 13 short, has 3 metal little bars in a bag. If it's got 3 little metal bars and it requires a cut, I'm guessing you need to do it to a Series 80, which really messes with the gun, honestly. I'm new here. What are we talking about? We talk about guns, life in general, how you're feeling, what you're doing. My dog, who's fucking awesome. I didn't know you streamed. I'll sub. Go over to Twitch. It's at twitch.tv/The Jimmini Show. If you guys follow, I get enough followers, I can monetize over there, and then you can use your Amazon Prime membership, which is a free membership that you can use with different streamers, and you guys can then follow me there. If I got 188,000 subs on Twitch, which wouldn't cost any of you a penny, I would make upwards of $6 a month. Where'd you get the guns from? The back of a truck? Why? Who was asking? Are you a Fed? Haven't seen a video of him using one yet, but they sent them to him. We'll see what happens when he builds it. The main thing is, though, if he actually shows the act of putting an FRT into a 1911 and taking out a safety, he's going to get pulled by YouTube. Wait, you stream on Twitch? I started a Twitch channel for streaming Ghost of Tabor. I only did it one day, and I did it with my old account, and that old account has a a heavily played version of my character. So on my second stream account that I have a copy that I'm still level 1, so I've just been playing it that way. But it's also like on that channel, if we get bored, I'll go and I'll do different things in VR, but it's all in VR. Yeah, Twitch/The Jimmini Show. The Jimmini Show, not just Jimmini Show. Is it worth it to get into being a firearms instructor? Why do you want to be a firearms instructor? If you're doing it to make money, not really, because there's many other people that are licensed instructors that are probably out there doing it at ranges and stuff. If you're looking to give private courses and stuff, you have to understand that you become responsible for whatever that person does. So is it worth it to you? You know, Masad Ayub, if you took one of his actual self-defense classes and shooting classes, he will be a expert witness at whatever trial you find yourself at, defending you, saying that you have training. So do you want to take on that level of responsibility, or are you just looking for a quick buck? If you're looking for a quick buck, there's a lot of better ways to do it. Can't pull guns down, brother. At 9 o'clock, I will show all the guns on the wall. I don't know what a Mako Miser is. I may have seen one or heard of one, or you might just be joshing me. I don't know. Whoa, the Jimmini Show with me on... Watch the Jimmini Show. Yeah. So, like you said, we got 14 people over there. I don't know how many I have to. Blunderbuss versus Pepperbox rifle. Never really fired either one, man. I love to shoot and I'm great at teaching. I was a driving instructor for 10 years. Just need to have and play career. So, I mean, you'll have to get licensed, which means you'll have to go through certifying classes. I'm not sure where you are, but I'm sure there's different rules for being able to like charge as an instructor. And as a driving instructor, you know that you have to have a business license, insurance, all that stuff. So, secondarily to all that, do you have a range? If you're trying to be a private instructor, you can't be a private instructor on a public range. So you would have to have your own property to shoot on, or get hired at some place that allows you to. Have you thought about moving everything to Twitch? Kind of. I thought about doing a midday just chatting stream on Twitch under the same name, but I don't want to fuck up the channels too much. So if I go over and I start doing a midday chat thing, I'll have to rebrand the VR back to Seated VR. New rule, I gotta donate to talk. You do not have to donate to talk. You're a goddamn mod, but I appreciate the donation, Grayson. Was I in the Army? Nope. I was not in the Army. Please never tell people I was in the Army. I was never in the military. What about a range safety officer? Are those jobs worth it? Again, depending on where you get the job. Some places may pay minimum wage. Some places may ask you to work a full-time schedule. Some places may only want you on the weekends. So a lot of times the range officers at like rentals and other places like that are usually employees of the company. So to become just like a range officer randomly is not going to be as common. Want to start as a range instructor to an existing range, moving from California to PA soon. Yeah, like I said, you just need to contact a few different places in the area you're looking to go to and see what their job listings are. But again, most places, no, my shop does not have a range. I wish it did. Forced Valor. Forced Valor. Frickin' A. But yeah, see if there's any stores that are hiring for range officers. Typically, they promote from within. That's what we've always seen wherever I've worked. You got your holosun? Sweet, dude. The wall is looking better. I really didn't do much. I just kind of moved everything together and put a few more boxes up there, Stone. And a couple of the guns I was never, I just didn't have up there, so I moved a couple of the guns around. You got a TLR 7, nice. I'm really asking, are there any parts of the job that would be a throw off to newer people? Well, yeah, being authoritative. So being a range officer requires you to have the balls to tell the entire line to stop shooting, to be able to take a gun away from a guy who's firing like in an unsafe manner, to being able to stop people from doing stupid shit before they dome themselves. So it takes a lot of just, you have to be like a drill instructor to be an RSO. If you're one of those guys that say, look, please just try to have a good time. If you're going to be dangerous, you shouldn't be hurt. Just please, if you're going to have a latte, maybe go sit outside. So you can either be one of those people or you can be the person that actually does his job. So about to start putting the engine in the body. Hope it goes well, dude. For 10 millimeter, my EDC ammo, should I go Blazer Defendo or Rip rounds? I do not recommend Rip rounds to anybody. Yes, it stands for Radically Invasive Projectile, but that's bullshit. There's a picture of a fucking tombstone on the box. It means rest in peace. It's a fragmentation ammo. It is an ammo that's designed to cause 5 to 7 distinct wound cavities per round. If you get into a shooting that has any questions at all, I guarantee you the first thing that the prosecuting attorney is going to do is judge you on your ammo, your gun choice, and the situation. So if you're running rip rounds in an EDC gun and you live in an area where you may be in a higher position or a higher chance of using it, don't fucking do it. It's just going to be something they use against you. That's easy. I was almost killed thousands of times being a driving instructor. Well, there you go. Agreed, I understand that. That's about it, though. Do I hunt? Nope. Thoughts on snake shot? It's interesting stuff. I've shot it once out of a revolver. I've seen people try to shoot it out of semi-autos. They don't have enough power. Going Defender. There you go, bud. I've got rip rounds, but yeah, lawyers suck. Rocky is love. Rocky is life. Dude, Grayson, man, I love you, dude, but you do not have to keep donating. I know you're doing it because you want to, and I greatly appreciate it. I don't know how to keep saying thank you, brother. You are, everybody. Thanks, Grayson. No, Rocky actually has 2 new growths on the inside of his gums, so I'm taking him up to see my friend's wife tomorrow, and then he has an appointment on the 8th of December at the vet. So he's developed 2 more polyps. It could be canine papillomavirus, which is benign and could possibly resolve itself. However, the first one is taking on a little bit of a different texture to it, and I'm a little bit scared. Stop thanking me, it's fine. I'll just say thank you if you do it, but I don't need you to do it anymore. All I had was some broccoli casserole and some bread. How's your leg? Also not getting any better. Also much worse than it was because I'm still trying to walk around and do shit like an idiot. It's an emergency. You should take him to the animal ER. I called an emergency vet and they told me no. They said unless the polyps have a cauliflower and a dark appearance to them, then I should worry. He said as long as they're pink like they are and they're just kind of smooth, he could have even like a herpes thing going on right now. They said none of that is contagious and it's not something that is life-threatening at this point. But yeah, if he gets any more, I may actually take him to the emergency vet. But again, the problem with me is I don't have the money. So I've got a few donations that came in and I've got my Social Security coming in 2 days. So if I have to use all of it, I will. So, yep, I gave my dog the kissing disease. Hey, Bass, what's up? Brooke, what's going on? That's why I'm trying to get the hoodies done as fast as I can. So I'm trading assets with my buddy to get the hoodies made. And then whatever I get from the hoodies is also going to go to his treatment. Did he touch a Glock? I think he licked a Glock mag when I was cleaning up the front the other day. Rocky got rowdy and got an STD, which is funny because he doesn't have nerd balls or balls. So he's shooting an empty load and he got sick. That would suck. From Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the best gun to protect your family? I'm going to give you an answer that you may not like, but whatever gun you have and train with. You could be using a Phoenix Arms 25 ACP. If you're a dead shot with that gun, you will be much more effective than a person who bought a Glock 19 because everybody told him to. He put it in a bedside locking box and never tried shooting it because the person with training with a shit gun will always outshoot a person who never shoots their gun ever. So buy a gun, practice with it. Don't buy a gun for self-defense and then put it in a goddamn drawer. That's how you die. Thank you. Facts. Whatever you train with, 100%. Thank you. Grandmaster Daily Carry is the best. Oh, there's days I've wanted to carry that in the store. Why am I getting ads for crypto? What the oh, yeah, I have Coinbase crypto. Would you shut up? Don't buy this safe, guys. I thought it was cool, but it doesn't go to sleep. I just woke up my dog. Problem solved. Does it go to my house or the UPS office? For what? What is the best small revolver? I'm planning to get my wife a little something for Christmas. If you want something lightweight, look at the Ruger LCR 9X or LCRs. They're very lightweight. You can also get a Smith & Wesson airweight. You can get a Taurus lightweight or ultralight. So there's a lot of them out there. Any of those three brands are good. I saw a picture of a High Point. It said Glock 19V on it. Oh, I should have scrolled that into Stone's Glock. I mean, High Point. You ordered blazers? Nothing. So it depends on where you want it sent, man. Typically, ammo, unless you live in a communist state like California, can go directly to your house. What's up, Papa and Wick? Brookside is saying, what's up, y'all? God damn, I got that many emails in my freaking thing. I remember when it was nuts. Let's see what the Black Friday sales are. You can get the TSOS 1911 tanker for $300. I don't recommend it. I would highly recommend you go with a slightly better version. Daniel Defense H9 is on sale for $800. That's pretty solid. Franklin Armory Blem Glock 19 or 17 slide for $400 with the trigger. What the? Oh, it comes with the Franklin Armory binary in it too. PSA 7.5 300 blackout for $460. Shadow Systems MR920 Combat for a very reasonable price. I can almost recommend this now. $599. That is a solid price for a customized Glock style gun. If you get any car in the world, what would you get? I'd get my Mustang back. Do it, then you'll allow me to talk bad about Glock. I can't, dude. I already sent them out. I sent you the tracking number. All 3 guns should be to you this week or on Monday. Murcielago with the 6-speed manual. There's like 6 of them in the U.S. Incredibly fun cars. There's more Murcielagos in the U.S. than with manuals. Now, there might be only like 6 LP740s. $26 of them are available. 26 in the United States. So I knew there was more than 6. 88 manual Mercies were made. 26 were available in the U.S. So that was really low. Could have sworn most of them are in Europe. Could be wrong. Regardless, definitely dream car. 26 is still extremely rare. So I had a 1989 Chevy Camaro 1LE R7U player's car. Mine was one of 52 manuals. Gen 5 Glock trigger to be worked in a Gen 3 anyway. No, because they use completely different retentions. Gen 3 is a 3-pin design. Gen 5 is a 2-pin design. Also, the ambidextrous slide lock setup, it creates a difference in the front part where the locking block goes. The locking block is also in a different location. I used to have a Shelby Cobra back in '95, but I totaled it. Jesus. Is Sig Sauer still in hot water? So thankfully Glock decided to discontinue 85% of their lineup and take all of the heat, as it were, away from Sig. In terms of uncommanded discharges, there really haven't been any new cases that have appeared, mainly because Sig has gone crazy trying to find all the guns that were affected. But also, typically, there's not that many idiots out there. It's just the internet makes it seem like there's more. It's like whenever a VTuber or an internet personality or a YouTuber, like fucking Pirate Software, right? He does something wrong. Everybody investigates him. everybody makes a biopic about him, right? Everybody makes a what do they call it on YouTube when they do it? A fucking. Anyways, they do a piece on him, right? Every single channel that makes that kind of content does the same thing on the same guy with the same information. That's what happened with Sig Sauer. They had 21 cases out of what 15 million guns, but those 21 cases were the only ones anybody talked about. Nobody ever talked about the 14,999,973 guns that didn't go off by themselves. But then Sig Sauer doubled down on it and decided to be a bunch of nerd tards. I'm trying to not cuss tonight. I might do a swear jar on the desk for one of my streams and see if I can go a whole live stream without cussing. Thank you. I've been lied to in so many places on this. Yeah, so things like the trigger bar might work, but the trigger packs themselves, no. And thank you for subscribing, by the way, even though I don't really make content. You know what? I was just triple checking who you were, Candace. Everything fits perfectly, but there's just a dead trigger with no action. Yep. So what you're saying is Sig created the switch for the Gen V to keep the heat off them. I'm not saying anything. Not at all, especially since I'm waiting for Sig to send me a 211 if they ever decide to. They didn't like my review of their 1911X, so... I mean, to be fair, I said the gun itself was amazing. I just wouldn't buy it in stainless. Although that's what I was representing for them, was the launch of the new stainless. I want fast cars. I did it the wrong way myself, Grayson. I got into selling cars when I was, 2000, so I was 21 years old, almost 21, because I did it in the beginning of the year. I started buying cars very early, and a lot of them. And I always bought Camaros, Mustangs. I never really bought 4x4s unless they were free. Now that I'm older and I've just got rid of my last RT Charger, I don't miss it as much as I used to. But I always make sure I at least drive a Hemi. Opinions on short barrel 45 ACP pistols. I'm fine with the shorter barrel guns. What I don't see is shorter grips. So guns like the Brat and the Para, not the Warthog, but there was another version of it. I've got the 1345, which is almost a full-size frame. Those are the ones I like. Want to hear your opinion on stuff with ARs next year. Want to do a carbine, FAL, Para build, got parts and all good to go, but this MR556A4 upward worth the cash? No. It's only worth it if you think it's worth it. Asking other people if they think it's worth it might mean it's not worth it. I need to talk to my buddy, actually. He has a HK 416, or he's got the MR556A3 upper. I don't remember which version it is, but he wants a reasonable price on that. Have you thought about going back to selling cars? No, I haven't even given it a moment's thought, because honestly, it tried to kill me. I spent 8 years walking around on bad legs. It requires too much walking, and I can't do it with the service dog. No, I could literally go back and make 250 grand without breaking a sweat, but I'll be in the hospital and I'll lose more of my leg. Incognito, what's going on, man? But I have the truck and I want a scat pack to match my girl. Stop donating to me and go buy a scat pack. Sig actually said they didn't like your review on the 1911X. The way I interpret them not liking the review is that they won't return any of my emails. Are LS swaps still worth it in older 90s and 80s cars nowadays? Absolutely, because getting a newer like LT4 out of a Camaro or anything like that is still too expensive. So yeah, LS swaps still make perfect sense. Just towed in my GLI, looking into trucks. Do you know much about the GMT 900s? The GMT 900s are okay. Transmissions were always a weak point, so just be careful. Never stopping. Jesus Christ, $50 donation. Grayson, man. Bro, thank you. Appreciate it. Wanted a 416 since 2011. Thought I got money and never did a piston build, so thought I'd ask around. Heard great things, but always want to hear what others might know. Yeah, it comes down to what it's worth to you, brother. I want one. I've had piston builds before. Dude, I finished volume 28 last night and finally made it to Andrea's death. Rick sleeping on her grave was so sad, man. Rip. Aw, Andrea died. Spoiler. Can't pick up guns, man. And in 18 minutes, I'll do a wall tour. Mountain Man, what's up? Aren't the Allisons and the 2500s fairly solid, though? They are okay, but they're not great. They're not true Allisons. They're just using Allison designs. Grayson is going to fund your whole issues. Yeah, he's on his way to it. Gregory, binary for Taurus. If you're talking about the TX22s, go for it, man. Chris, I'm trying to. Thank you for the high five, John. So Allison, so early Allison stuff is pretty solid. And then the 900s, which discontinued. When did the GMT 900s discontinue? Wasn't that 10 or 11 or something? Oh, 14. Yeah. So, yeah. Now, the Allison's definitely the better one to go with, but you definitely don't want the 4L60s, which were always known to be terrible. Also, they're all fucking rust buckets. If you can find one that has no rust issues, you'd be doing amazing. Jesus! We've got a competition going on between Chris and Bass and John. Holy crap. Hold on, I gotta stop. Are there any guns on Black Friday deals? Through me? No, not right now. Jesus. Hold on, I gotta find this. Ah! Crazy kids. 4L Slippy. So the best way to tell whether we'll do it at 9 p.m. So in just a few minutes, guys. The way to tell if a GM 4-speed is going out is if it starts shifting super smooth. The minute that a 4L60 starts shifting really smooth, you need to start looking for a new transmission. Today's you have Soviet World War II guns. No, I am not a World War II gun guy. Can I see that Taurus? It's not a Taurus, it's a Beretta. See you later, bro. Bro, Grayson, thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Rocky thanks you. Because I'm not kidding. If it winds up, if he dies, I'm going on a killing spree. 4L80s were better than 4L60s. Well, they used heavier duty components, but they were still 4-speeds. Brooks said, "You're the man. Have a good night. I just out some antlers of an old skull cap, and I can confirm Bowden dust smells like hell." Yeah, no, I'm good. You got humbled. No, it's okay, man. It looks like a Taurus because it's got wood grips on it. Most Berettas didn't come with that. My buddy put the wood grips on it. Hopefully someday I can afford to fucking 150 times he just donated those jewels. Holy shit. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Thank you very much, brother. You made the channel 75 cents. Wow, Chris, it's hard to compete with, lol. I just went on a spending spree, so you don't go on a killing spree, but Grayson did a better job. No, guys, I say this every time. Please, don't feel you ever have to donate to, like, get my attention, to get me to answer your question, to become, like, famous on a live with 40 people. I will answer as many questions as I can if you keep them civil, interesting, and fun. Please, don't feel the need to help us just because Rocky needs some help. It embarrasses the fuck out of me to have to ask for help because I've been so independent my whole life. So thank you, everybody that it does anything. You want to try and find a truck with an ND 3500, but the GMTs didn't get manuals. The 5-speeds were tons better. Yeah. I got a couple 308s. Do you have your health issues since you were younger? I've had differing health issues throughout my life. So I have genetic disorders that get worse as life goes on. But I've had just as long as I can go. I had childhood asthma. I've had chronic headaches. I have cluster headaches. I've had those since I was 17. Arthritis, bad back. I gained a shit ton of weight in my early 20s. I went from 160 pounds to 350 pounds in 8 months. So I worked at an old country buffet as a cashier. I literally got super, super fat. Lost all the weight, got diabetes. But I also have a couple of different genetic disorders that are slowly killing me. There's no need to be ashamed for asking for help, especially when people love you. I appreciate that, Chris. NV3500 would be the dream. If I could find one, would swap one, but a lot of work. My biggest problem, like I said, with the GMT 900 chassis is that, dude, that thing rusts so badly. Even the 09 to 14 F-150s have rot issues. It's crazy. GMs for a long time had to put lifetime guarantees on their rocker panels. Getting the bell housings to match up and swap the slave cylinder and the pedal are a real pain. I've seen a few of the GMT 900 folks built with them, though. So here's what I want to do, and I don't really want to say it out loud because I'm thinking somebody else has either started this already or is doing it. I want to buy a gas engine V10 Excursion because they're the cheaper ones. You can usually get the V10s for like $5,000 in pretty solid shape with high mileage. And then I want to find like a wrecked 2015 to 2019 one-ton diesel, and I want to do a full driveline and interior swap. The one I'm looking at is fairly clean and comes with a bed from Georgia. Well, that's not bad. What my dad taught me when I was 8 before he died is with Ford, the body will rust right from underneath you, but the engine will go on forever. Yeah, so Fords, especially the older Fords, were very much like Hondas and Toyotas still are. They will rot and run, except for when they go bad. When a Ford goes bad, they destroy themselves. GMTs rusted worse than the OBS, and that's really saying something. The OBS truck's rusted as shit, yep. The body stays nice, but the engine does not last long. Kind of goes all the way around, but yeah. And Dodge doesn't offend anybody. Actually, Dodge's problem has always been with their front suspension. My dad's 06 Ram, I paid I think $5,000 over the course of a few years replacing his front suspension twice. It wears out so fast. Glad to catch the live. My smaller carry guns are having trouble feeding Hornady critical defense. Any suggestions for defense rounds for guns that seem to prefer? Try critical duty. They're a filled-in one, or try to find anything that has like a Syntec coating on it. You can also go with Spear Gold Dot. The hole is smaller, but it's still a hollow point. Is there a difference between a 3.5-pound trigger and a regular mil-spec? If we're talking about an AR-15, absolutely. A regular mil-spec trigger and an AR-15 is between 6 and 8 pounds. So basically half the weight. And a lot of times having a lighter trigger usually means it's got better parts in it. It's for a better return as well. My Ford small block will never die, but everything else does. Yeah, pop a Foss plug or two and see what happens over the winter. I remember Volkswagens used to do that. Ew, foot juice. You okay, buddy? I woke him up. He's looking at me side-eye. It's like, not sure if like you right now. You're good, buddy. Oh, that's the cutest thing ever. You ever seen when a dog stretches and he pulls his paw over? Oh, it's the cutest fucking thing ever. Is the Heckler & Koch HK-14 the best gun? Don't know. I never messed with one, Davey. Sig Spear has been my favorite 9mm if you can find it for real. Yeah, Sig Spear Gold Dot is pretty solid. Not Sig. Spear Gold Dot. It's not Sig. Is it? Spear is... Thoughts on external hollow points like G9 Defense? I don't know what an external hollow point is. What is an external hollow point? What G9 Defense ammo? I'm not giving you any of this shit. Pistol. Oh, okay. So they're calling it an external hollow point, but you know what that basically is? That looks like extreme penetrators from Underwood. Does Rocky ever wake up and just put his paw on you? Oh, yeah, dude. He sleeps touching me, and then I have a picture of him when he laid down and he was almost asleep. He just took both of his paws and just smashed them into my face and left them there. I'm going to say this every live from now on. Frick Glocks! Buy a 3.5 pound single stage AR trigger for my AR either tonight or tomorrow. It's on sale for half off over the weekend. There you go, dude. Yep. 6 is good. 8 is too many. Redneck. Tell the Russian guy I said, very much with the giving for the thanks too. We are always thankful for things around this time, including all your Americans leaving London at the same time. I have some SIGs that say Spear on the casing. Not sure if the box is gold dot. I got them in a baggie out of Rando section by the 100. So I think Spear might have been the bullet provider. Or the casing divider. Bought a CGP-10F and it shoots great. Yeah, they do. What's your thoughts on the Joris Taurus 3C3? The G3C is a good budget option because it offers double strike capability, making it one of the only ones in the price range that does. Hey, Precision, what's up, Brandon? Thank you for your donation. Just got my Hemi installed now. I have to do everything else like hook up the gas and everything. God damn, you're not messing around, Chris. Any metal mags fit in the Glock 19? Yeah. Mekgar. They literally came out with them this year. 18 rounders. They have the 15 rounders, which are flush fit. Check them out. Mekgar. Mekgar makes OEM mags for like 80% of the industry, too. They have the hollow point gel tip rounds. Yeah, that'll help a feeding problem. So the problem you're having with the feeding problem could also be your mags. But yeah, having something that completes the roundness of the nose will allow it to hit the ramp and pop up versus a hollow point, which you usually grab and just stick. I was going to buy an MIM tack, but I spend more on a trigger tack? I would buy a CMMG. They sell a 3-pound drop-in trigger for like $90 on PSA all the time. The reason why I got it done so fast is because my oldest is helping me. Yeah, and it's a V8, dude. I totally get that, man. And you already had the old one out. So literally, it's like... So my old mechanic guy that taught me mechanics used to get yelled at because he eventually went to work for the St. Paul Police Department back when they still had Crown Vics. And he could frame swap because typically if a Crown Vic ran into a curb hard during a pursuit, they just replace the frame. Like he could pull the entire car off the frame, replace the frame, have the car completely rebuilt in like 6 hours. And he used to get yelled at because he was doing the jobs too fast. He wasn't following book. So they literally made him carry like one bolt over to the wire brush wheel and clean it off at a time to kill time. I love Trigger Tech. I like Rise Armament and CMMGs myself. I love Glock horse semen. You should probably put that in context, brother. I run Mekgar mags for my Taurus and Glocks and a few of my ARs, and I have no complaints. No, Mekgar is fine. I will say I'm not a huge fan of their 1911 mags, and that's just because their blued mags seem to be a little... They're not as consistent. Like some of them, you have to squeeze them a little bit to get them to go in and out easier. I remember Jerry, that guy you used to work for, I remember he told me you peed yourself on the job and cried. Number one, I peed myself on the job and I cried on a different occasion. Those were not the same time, brother. Okay? Peeing yourself while you're working is a sign that you work hard and you're not willing to take a break like everybody else does, so I'm fine with that. And the reason I was crying was because I had finally been acknowledged as 31st best salesman in the company behind his wife. You put it on your sandwiches. Hell knows, man. I have KCI mags in my Rock Island, and I'm looking for some good cheap mags that I can stack up on. Here's what you do. Go over to edbrown.com right now. If you send them your KCIs, and $10, they will give you Ed Brown mags. I believe it's Ed Brown. I don't think it's Les Bear. I believe it's Ed Brown. Yeah, so Ed Brown Magazine Exchange Program. Yeah, I'm 21 or older. We're so confident. We'll absolutely love our new line of Ed Brown Performance Mags. We'll take your old mags on trade. Send us your old 1911 mags from any maker, and for everyone you send, you can upgrade to a brand new Ed Brown stainless mag with a lifetime warranty for $10 or a black nitride mag for $15. So there you go. You can get Ed Brown really nice mags for $10 a piece. I'm getting too old for that kind of humor, not gonna lie. Yeah, some of us are, Chris. I get that. Got enough guns there? No. Dude, I actually took down 25. CMMG on PSA is sold out. Ah, bummer, dude. Got anything with a bayonet? No, I wish I did. I don't have it anymore. Damn, that's good. It really is. And Ed Brown's been running that forever. You got to remember, man, they're going to sell your mag on eBay for like $15, $20, so they're actually making money. I have like 13, so I might have some fun with that. Dude, they'll take everyone you send them. Think about that. For $130 and some postage time, you can get rid of mags you don't like and wind up with like $500 worth of mags. Do you recommend a 22 pistol for home defense? If you're practiced with it, you're capable of shooting it well, and you can aim, yes. If you've never picked up a gun and you're just going to let it sit in a drawer, no. Wait. KCI in a 1911. KCI has become the default for Rock Island and a couple of other brands. Brandon. Who the fuck is Brandon? Stonehaven is Brandon. Bruce, I bought an old Chromebook for my youngest at $35. Do you think I got ripped off? It's in great condition. If it works for him, it does what he wants to, and he uses it, no, it's not a ripoff. I'm not a big fan of Chromebooks because they're so locked down, but if you can get into the BIOS, you can just sideload Windows. You know, y'all are making fun of my homeland by making fun of KCI. Oh, I know why nobody's watching this, because I'm a dipshit. What the fuck? I hit the wrong button and everything went sideways. You watched my videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. When people watch my videos, I'm very happy. If you like them, especially, but if you don't like them, keep it to yourself. I need you guys to do me a big favor. Hit the like button, please. If you guys hit the like button, it helps show that they can promote me on Google, and Google will promote me. Then they'll make more money off of me, and when they make more money off of me, they'll stop fucking with me. Glock mags and P mags for Glocks, yeah. Put Alpha Linux on the Chromebook, you pull up to school and the teacher just has an aneurysm. I put Windows 3.1 on my Chromebook. They haven't jammed at all, but are very stiff on a full mag even after 1,000 rounds. I like this guy, but every time I see him, I swear he has Downs. Then you don't know what Down syndrome is, so maybe you have Downs. I did like, thank you. The only thing you use it for is to watch whatever the hell he watches on YouTube and play a couple of games. Then for $35, you got off easy. You can't even take your kid to the movie for $35. I don't have Down syndrome, but I have Up syndrome. What's up? Not much. What's up with you? If I have Down syndrome, I am the most smartest ever person with Down syndrome ever. Also, I have a bigger penis than you do, ma'am. Yay! 52 lights! Aye. What was the older trigger brand you like? Rise Armament. R-I-S-E. Syndrome is from The Incredibles. When everybody is incredible, no one will be. I'm the Underminer. I might be below you, but nothing is below me. Stop licking your wounds. You okay, buddy? He's ignoring me. What do you think could unite humans politically? If we had a giant world summit of every world leader and politician on the planet meet at like The Hague, and then somebody nukes it. If you ever watch Dude, Where's My Car? The tattoo is my favorite part. I have never seen that movie. I think he's mad at you because you woke him up and he can't fall back to sleep into his dream. Great answer. Thank you. We need the World Fairs back. Yeah, we do. You know that's how Chicago got its nickname. It was given it at the World's Fair that they hosted. They were boasting so much about how good their city was, the industry, the people, the company, things like that, that it got the nickname the Windy City from the number of tall tales that were told, not from the fact that it has lake wind effects. Rocky's cool, man. Rocky can fall asleep no problem. He's fallen asleep in like minutes next to me, and then he starts kicking me when he does his squirrel chasing dreams. You've got to watch it. It's amazing. My problem is I'm not a big Ashton Kutcher fan. Just bought the Ruger RXM and ordered the Jimmini trigger per your recommendation. Just make sure that you install it correctly, because the spring for the trigger is not in the back like it is on a stock trigger, because the Jimmini trigger has a trigger pack with a spring, and then the spring itself goes around the front of the trigger itself and is retained by the locking block. It's really fucking weird. And then the bronze spring, so you get two springs, a stainless and a bronze. The bronze brings the trigger pull and the reset down to about 3 pounds. The Observer says, "What's up, bro?" I wish politicians spoke more like that too. I'd be much more apt to listen to AOFC if you walked around. Like, okay, like what you really need to do is like take care of everybody, because y'all are like downers. Okay, you're so mid. This whole budget is mid. We need to fix this shit. I like to watch a movie, but I can't get halfway throughout the movie without my 10-year-old screaming "skibbity toilet" or whatever the frick he says. Ah! Do I like Jay and Silent Bob? No. The premise was interesting when he first started doing it, when Kevin Smith started it way back when. But Jay is just, he's an overly obnoxious creation. I will have a gunsmith do it, as I am incapable. Yeah, that might be smart. Tell why the 226 X5 Legion is hitting. What do you mean? Like you like it? Give it another 15 years, it'll be talking like that with the new generation. Yeah, it's going to be funny. You're going to hear all these like 60-year-old politicians pulling up, listening to classic Snoop and like vinyl era Eminem. The whole parking lot.
Well, the real Slim Shady, please stand up.
When all the politicians are covered in tattoos. Yeah, and I'm a 227 lover. The 226 and 227s are very similar. Do you know what a 1974 Marlin 3336 3030 real good sheep might be worth? Thank you. No. I don't give values online because I'd need to see the rifle. Saying it's in real good shape to you might not mean the same to me. You can go to gunvalues.com. They'll give you the average sold price of those guns. I don't do that for people. If I appraise a gun or give a price for a gun, it costs $15 per gun that I appraise. Sorry. And I'm not doing it to be mean, but I'm not giving you a value because, yeah, you tell me the price you're looking to pay for it, I'll tell you if you're anywhere in the ballpark, but I'm not giving values. How come in the 70s they made the fastest cars that they could ended up being trucks? What? Drop in to say hello. Did an interview today with the CEO. Full face tats and huge ear gauges. Lol, never judge a book. Facts. Yeah. Also, it's too easy to be a CEO now. Technically, I'm CEO, CFO, CTO, COO, OCD, CPO, 3CPO, CPOD, OCPD, OCP, POD, DOD, EOD, DOJ, JOC. Grayson took off already. Oh, you're talking about the old ones? Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Oh, wait a minute. It was because the highest horsepower thing they could make was make water trucks. Yeah, so like marine engines would fit. Yeah, the 454 started as a marine engine, if I'm not mistaken. POV. There you go, Secular. I'm the POV that you don't want to see in a porn video. I'm SO Crypto. What's up, dude? It's been 28,498 days since Germany last tried to take over the world. That sounds like a dare. I hate autocorrect. Me too. It usually makes me say things I didn't Nintendo. Let's keep that number climbing, why don't we? Do I think they're going to get rid of the diesel regulations? No, because emissions are tied to those regulations, and emissions are increasingly restricted and stringent. The main thing that I believe they passed was that when you're out of DEF, you can go longer before the trucks go into limp mode. Or you just do like a bunch of people do and just remove your fucking DEF system. It destroys your resale value because you void your warranty instantly. Or you just buy a 1999 F-250 crew cab and be done with it. Do I have a high power? Yes. It's just not here right now. My buddy still has to send it back to me. Just fill the DEF with water. I usually fill mine with Mountain Dew. I mean, it's technically a urea, so theoretically you can just piss into it and it would detect the urea in your urine and technically work, but it would destroy the system because of the rest of the shit in your body. Let's do the wall thing. So that is a SIG Pro, which is basically a polymer frame 22 whatever. Yeah. Daria DY9, Rock Island RIA 5.0, Diamondback DB15 with the full-length handguard, the Tax 79 bloop tube with no grip on it because I took the screw out of it, my AR custom build, Springfield Echelon, Sharps Brothers frame, Ruger RXM, Sharps Brothers frame, Chris Sphinx SDP Compact Alpha, the Beretta 92 FS Inox Ghost, because it has all stainless hardware on it, Fusion Firearms XP Pro, Ruger GP 100 357, Canik TTI Combat, same gun, Springfield Operator, boxes, a suppressor, CZ SPO1 with the SIG Romeo 1, Gerson Influencer X 9mm Gerson Match X. Both of those are custom refinished by Taylors and Company, rebuilt by me, customized by me, owned by me, love me, worship me, love me. T-Sauce Knit Stalker, also customized by me. Internal work done by a buddy of ours though. Of course, he's also the one that forgot to put all the parts in the orange, and the orange fell apart. So, going to try to send him money. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not getting it back from you for personal reasons. I'm getting it back because a friend had me sell it without telling me the significance of it, and I want to make sure I have it in case he decides he wants it back. Hydrogen is the cleanest, but it also is stored under 100,000 psi when used in a vehicle. So, you know, you're literally driving around with a hydrogen bomb. You ever thought of filling up a liquid PC with milk? No, because the minute you get it up to 90 degrees Celsius, you are making cheese. Folks, I got 1,500 rounds of 22 for $60 a day. It was terrible compared to 7 years ago, but you know. Yeah, try buying 1,500 rounds of 5.56. If you only had 250, what would you buy for an EDC? I would go find a used gun somewhere. It gives you a lot more options. But honestly, it probably, if I had to buy new, it would either be a Taurus G2C or a G3C. Bought myself a Sig Romeo 5 Gen 2 for my AR. What do you think about them? They're fine. They're better than the Gen 1s. They're solid red dots. I've used them a lot. That GP100 is beautiful. Thank you. Do you think that guy would really make an engine run on water before they killed him? Yes. What happened that you bought a Terran gun? I like them, but we don't like him. So I had the LFA Apollo 11, the 2011. It had a 3D printed grip that kept me from being able to shoot it one-handed because of the design of it combined with the beaver tail was shit. So rather than invest hundreds of dollars fixing it, I traded it even up for the Tanic Kiki-I, the Canik TTI Combat, because it had just come out. That gun came out this year. So I traded an Apollo 11 that I had $600 into for that gun, which goes for $1,000. So I got a good deal on the gun, and I like the way Canik shoot, and I basically had the same money as an SFT Pro. The fact that it says Terran Tactical on it is inconsequential to me. In fact, I'm probably having my buddy, because he has a laser engraver, I'm going to have him laser off all the Terran Tactical stuff and put my logo on it. Because I have just as much involvement with that Canik as Terran did. Use P10, yep. Plus hydrogen is so inefficient as in combustion engine, there's no reason to use ICE compared to a hydrogen electric solution. Yeah, buy a high point, then you get a free club toe too. I had one, bought it from PSA for $100 plus shifting taxes, not that bad for a $200 optic. Yeah, no, I will tell you that the MSRP is $200 on the Romeo 5, but you can find them on Amazon all day for $135 for the Gen 2. $100 is still an excellent price for that optic. I'm not saying that you didn't, but I'm just saying, yeah, Amazon is usually $135 for a Gen 2. They're usually $155 for the green. Have you heard about the kid running Hellcats on plastiline? No, I haven't. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? He woke up. Glock is good. Hey. Can't even look straight but owns a gun. Hey, dipshit, you aim with one eye, so it doesn't matter if this eye's watching everything else. Also, it means I have better situational awareness than you. Just because I can see here and over here at the same time means I'm fucking awesome. I traded a high power for a high point. Lol. So I'm looking for a 14.5 308 carbine to engage targets between short and mid distance. Looking to add 3 to 8 mid-ready mags in a waffle stock magazine pouch. Any ideas? Type everything you just typed into Google. Observer. I'd go with the 16-inch SFAR, honestly. It does almost everything you're asking for it. Yes, it's 1.5 inches longer, but it's also the same weight as an AR-15. You know, that gay used to mean happy a long time ago. Still does. It's just like over in Europe, like London, a fag means a cigarette. Boy, mate, you got a fag? I don't trust Google. I trust Google. I just don't trust people. You okay, buddy? He's dead asleep. That's a terrible term. He is completely out. Thanks, bro. You're welcome. How to make an American car. Number 1, go to America. Smoking a fag means something way different here. Yep. blowing a tranny used to meant something different too. Usually meant your race weekend was over. I don't have a top 5 EDC. I have a top 1 EDC. Your EDC that should be the top for you should be the one that you carry and shoot the most. I like 1911, so it's going to be 5 1911s. So it's a boring ass list, dude. Most Glocks look just fine, and that's the problem, Jay. They look just fine. Also, why are you defending a company that canceled 85% of its lineup just so they could avoid being sued? They didn't give a fuck about you people. They didn't care about the public. They cared because California banned them. And if California bans a gun that law enforcement uses, law enforcement abandons the gun. Law enforcement abandons a gun, military contractors abandon the gun. All those companies and countries and counties and states abandon the gun, the company goes bankrupt. The company doesn't give a fuck about the switch, because if they did, they would have taken off the back plate completely, made a removable firing pin channel, and made it so it was not possible to install a switch. Instead, they welded 2 4mm pieces of steel inside of it so that it raised the rear end of the gun a little bit and shortened the raceway. They don't give a fuck about anybody. Glock is a terrible company. They don't give a shit about you. Contact them. Tell them your problems. Tell them what you're feeling today. I have direct contact. I have the cell phone number for the CEO of Rock Island. He and I talk all the fucking time. And he's interested in my dog. He's interested in my health. That's a company that cares about you. Glock doesn't give a shit. Is the website still up? Mine, yes, but there's nothing on it. I had to dump a shit ton of them to try to pay for medical bills. Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. Air Max, what's up? What's my thoughts on the Glock 26X? Number one, not a real gun. It was a gun that was created by the Glock store. Number two, it's on a generation of gun that's canceled, so who gives a fuck? Sorry. You asked me my opinion about a Glock model after I just told you what I think about Glock? That's going to be the answer you're going to get. If I hate the company, why would I like anything they make? FE, how you doing, man? No, I'm not doing good, brother. Just kind of fucking living with all the problems I got. What's your number one carry pistol? My number one carry pistol is a Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911, followed closely by that Springfield Operator 1911. I like a good 45 ACP single stack. You changed your beard. Some days I get tired of the itchy feeling and just buzz it all off. I don't actually have a beard. I just have I don't feel like shaving this month. Foot still hurting? Yep, it's way worse. How's the dog doing? He's got 2 more growths in his jaw. I have 2 Glocks. And I still shoot my M&P a lot. There you go, Crypto. Attaboy. Now, having said what I've said about the Glock company, their guns are fine. Their guns are reliable if you don't give a shit about fitment, quality, precision. They're fine. If Kalashnikov was asked to manufacture a handgun, he would have made a Glock. And if Kalashnikov had made it, I guess people would like it more. But since Glock made it, fuck them. I've got 0 Glocks. I shoot my CZs. Wait till you open the box that you think has a CZ in it. Glock is a service gun. It works and does a lot of things okay. Exactly, FV. As long as you add those words, it's fine, it's okay, it does the job. That's exactly what you say about the 73-year-old hooker that's downtown. You know what? She ain't the prettiest, her tits are sagging down to her knees, but she probably gets you off. That's Glock. Someday I'm going to buy some CZs. Yeah, whatever you guys do, don't go over to FV's channel. He has no good guns whatsoever. All his guns are trash. I tried to hook him up with an STI, but then I fucked up the deal, so. Damn you, Joe. Well. No, but seriously, go over to FV's channel and sign up with him, dude. Trying to get him well over 100,000 subs. He deserves it. But the 73-year-old is worth the $20. It's better with her because she still thinks $20 is worth like an entire night out because she's remembering 1965 money. You don't need training to look at a wall of guns, so YouTube shouldn't care. YouTube is a bunch of assholes. Canada froze all pistols, so I'm stuck with the Glocks. I trade them for a 1911 workhorse if I could. I told you, dude, if you want to come and visit like 2 to 3 months out of the year, I would sponsor your visa. I'd hire you as my filmographer. You would have to edit my videos and work for exposure. And she has no teeth. Dude, gummings hurt. My grandma bit my cheek with no teeth once. That shit hurts. It's still bone. Dealing with a bunch of haters right now, show nice stuff, and people get offended. Yeah. FV, that's where it comes from, dude. You know, you got some really nice shit, so what's the first thing you get? The problem I find with the internet, FV, is no matter what stance you take, everybody will automatically take the other side because it's, for some reason, the internet age's instinct to naturally disagree with everything anybody ever says. So all you deal with, I'll say, this is fine, and somebody else will say, no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not. Here's an idea. Everybody can be right and wrong at the same time. I'm always right, so you're obviously always wrong, is what I tell people. It really pisses them off. $20, she does your laundry dishes and makes you a sweater. Reminds me of an old joke. So I was driving downtown one Friday night, and this hooker walks up to my car. She says, I'll do anything for $40. Guess who's getting his house cleaned? Yeah, so Desert's dealing with being in trouble with YouTube. They're a bunch of assholes. This guy. So yeah, so his channel got hit. They kept fucking with my channel. I had to send them a letter to their legal department, and I'm still waiting for my friend who's getting me in touch with his IP lawyer to see if I can get them to draft up a cease and desist. Yeah, he was taken down for a few days though, and that sucks. You got to be really careful with any kind of pointing device. I'm surprised I haven't gotten in trouble for doing this, but since I'm clearly touching my computer, they can't really say anything. Yeah, I saw that. I'm glad he's back, man, because he's actually a really good influence in the sphere. So is FV. Chanson is pretty solid. Chanson gets caught a lot because he calls out his sponsors like every 5 minutes. That's too much. If you're watching this, Chanson, I love you, brother, but you don't need to mention your sponsor every 5 minutes. Of course, YouTube is owned by Google, reporting, but don't be evil. Yeah. Can we get a joke today? I just did. I'll give you another one, though. I'm trying to think of ones that aren't long. No, that one's gross. Guy walks into a bar with the jumper cables around his neck. The bartender yells, "Hey, you better not start anything." What's a good first AR? Just make sure you get something with at least an aluminum body on it. So Great Lakes, Diamondback, Radical, they're all decent and solid. Daniel Defense. You could go that way, Prophet. You didn't mention a price range, so you could go through the school of buy once, cry once, buy a gun that's complete and ready and doesn't need any upgrades, and you're good to go. So you could actually spend $2,500 on a used Diamondback or a used Daniel Defense and have a gun that's as good as my $5,000 AR, if you wanted. All you guys are great influences and awesome knowledge sources for real. Also, we all have different kind of things that we do. Like FV is a lot more of a competition guy than I am, and Desert is more of a kind of like a hunter-y style guy than I think either of us are. Me, I'm the consumer gun guy. I'm the guy that buys guns and does videos as if I wanted to buy the gun without, making you buy the gun, if that makes sense. FV just likes to show his guns running. I like that. Joe's a good dealer. Yeah, but I can't give everybody cocaine. Buying the gun is the cheapest part in the shooting hobby. You're not kidding, dude. So hold on a second. Let's do the actual math. So my pair of ordnance, I have 8,000 rounds through it. Divide that by 50. No, not multiply it. 8,000 divided by 50 equal, no, not my, where the fuck is the divide? Thank you. 8 divided by 50. So that's 100 and, what are you doing? I can't math. Shut up, Rocky. Sorry. 50, L, 80. L. I can't do anything today, man. Yeah, that's right. So 160 boxes, right? Let's say I bought 160 boxes of 45 ACP at 25 bucks a piece. That's $4,000 I've spent in ammo shooting a $1,000 gun. I own his yeet. What is the cheapest gun you ever bought? Like an actual purchase, I spent 40 bucks on a Jennings JA9. The Observer seriously amazing 308 packages like millimeter. Yeah, POF is expensive though. What are you preparing for? Zombies? Lol, dang, that's a lot of guns. Hell no. You don't use handguns on zombies, bro. You own a High Point. Nope, sold it. Yep, sorry, Rock fan. It took me so long to use my brain. But yeah, so think about that. I have a lot of guns. Let's say you shoot 60,000 rounds a year, right? Not saying anybody does. Let's say I shoot 10,000 rounds a year. 10,000 rounds a year at 50 cents a round is about $5,000. If you spend $5,000 a year on ammo, that's a lot of fucking money. That's more my insurance, man. I got a revolver for 130. Nice. I had one too. Took it apart to clean it, and it flew apart. What, your High Point? Any good deals for Black Friday? Me? You shot 89,000 rounds this year. Let's say you average 50 cents a round. You just spent $35,000 in ammo. Three kids and yourself. Yep, that's a lot of rounds, dude. So, as a private individual, if I shoot like 500 rounds when I go to the range. This year I probably only went like 20 times, but that's still 10,000 rounds. So 10,000 rounds is still $5,000 in ammo. Even as a dealer, I still spend a lot of money. I put about $75 in gas every 3 days, but yeah, but that's for your business. That makes you money. Ammo should be tax deductible. Technically, it is. Anything I spend for the business, so if I can document that I shot the ammo, I can write it off. 30 and 9mm major rest mix between 9mm standard, 22, some 50 BMG, and 5.56. Yeah, that's a lot of ammo, dude. And you shot some full auto stuff too, so I mean, you're just watching it going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. I'm broke! How about them bears today? They're sloths. I want to get my oldest son a car for his birthday. What would your opinion be on getting him something under 10 grand? Honestly, does he do maintenance? Has he ever driven a car like for a long period? If he doesn't really have a lot of stuff in terms of like maintenance ability, get him a Honda Civic or a Honda Accord or a Toyota Camry. Stupidest thing ever to hear me say that, but honestly, a lot of stuff isn't worth it nowadays. I would not get him a Nissan Altima. Nissan Altimas have CVTs, Stone. You do not want to get a child something with a CVT. Going. Yeah, pretty much. See ya, Fee. You have a good night, man. You know what JROTC is? Yeah, it was the old like high school level classes that you could take, and then you could go into the military and enter in at a higher rank or some shit. They'll take good care of it, but he doesn't have much experience because he's turning 16. Yeah, I would get him. No, I would not get a kid a Mustang. Stop trying to give him that kind of advice. No, get him something like a Honda Accord, Honda Civic, or a Toyota Camry. You can probably, maybe even like a Toyota Celica. So if you want something sportier, but you'll find something. They're cheap. There's a reason they're cheap, Stone. They have shit transmissions, and if you're getting one for under 10 grand, it's probably going to be 130, 150,000 miles, which is beyond the lifetime of a standard CVT. Give them an old school car, keep them down as long as possible. I would not go with the Passat either. Passats have trash transmissions. Have you done the JROTC? No. Over Lambo. Dodge Ram are shit. Your English is shit. Dodge Ram are cool. You just have bad experience with Ram, or you don't know how to take care of one. Learned how to drive in a Camaro and Mustangs and V8 trucks. Yeah, a lot of us did. Problem is, this generation ain't like our generation. And if you're a youngin', then I applaud your parents because it wasn't your choice. What about an all-golf STI or GTI? Insurance is ridiculous on those cars. Toyota Corolla is the best. As just a dependable car for a kid, yes. In terms of a car, no. An Infiniti G35, yeah, but that's rear-wheel drive. It's rear-wheel drive and a complicated quad-cam engine. That's not a good thing to give a kid learning to drive a car. Find them a Civic or Accord with the 2-liter 2.4. They'll get great gas mileage, run forever. Yep. With DS 2011, 1911 is mid-tier, the best way starting off. Yes. Honestly, it is. How good of a shooter are you? Are you just getting into the sport? Have you never owned one before? Then yeah, mid-level's fine. You will never see the benefits of a $7,000 1911 unless you're that good of a shooter. I shoot thousands of rounds through 1911s, and even I have trouble discerning between like a Wilson Combat and a Nighthawk. You're saying the Passat had bad transmission, just got my mom one. Yeah, they're notorious, man. Look them up. Volkswagen transmissions or automatics are trash. 2025 Mustang Dark Horse with the track pack. I take issue with Mustangs using track pack for what they did, because track pack used to mean the Brembo's oil cooler, trans coolers, everything. And then they changed it to performance pack because they wanted track pack for the Shelby 350R so that they could sell it in Europe. I take issue with the Dark Horse having a track pack because it has a performance pack. Ford Focus ain't too bad either. Another bad choice. The Ford Focus has a terrible transmission. The dual clutch automated 6-speed in a Ford Focus has a lifetime warranty on it up to 125,000 miles because they are notorious for braking, because a lot of people bought them and gave them to their young children learning how to drive without using the 6,000 mile break-in for an automated clutch. No, Ford Focus is a terrible choice for a young person. Do not give a young person a Ford Focus. That is one of the worst ones that you can give a young child. I learned in a 2001 manual Celica. I said that one just to fuck around. Gotcha. Thoughts on the Ram TRX? Way too much money. I'll never own one. I can build one cheaper than I could buy one. I said that one just to F around. Okay, I'll give you that one then. I drive a good old Chevrolet Suburban, and my car 07 Lincoln Town Car Signature. Love that car. Those are pretty good. What about the older Saturn four-door sedans? SL series, yes. L series, no. The L series, they were using the Ecotec four-cylinder, notorious for blowing up. But when Saturn had its own dedicated engines, their twin-cam four-cylinder engine in the SL series, yes. But the L series sedan, especially the V6, a lot of people don't know this. The 3-liter V6 that's in the Saturn L300, their full-size sedan, is the exact same engine that's in the Cadillac Catera. That engine is shit. I learned in an '04 Pontiac Sunfire. Ugh. What state are you in? Denial. My first time coming across your content. Love the setup. Thank you, sir. Joe, do you watch football? No, not much. I don't like professional football. I don't like professional sports, period. I'll watch college ball, though. Also, when you say, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, no, you're not. Well, you might be a Minnesota Vikings fan, but you can't be a fan of the team because everybody changes their fucking team so much that you're never rooting for the same team. And what about when they fucking draft somebody from another state? He's not from Minnesota. He's not a Minnesota Viking. He's a Florida Viking. He's a Georgia Viking. You're not rooting for the home team unless it's like Kirby Puckett, fucking, what's his name? The guy that played forever for the Vikings but didn't get a ring because he played for the Vikings, you know? It's like Dan Marino. Dan Marino doesn't have a Super Bowl ring because he stayed with the Dolphins. I learned in a 2000 Freightliner. I've driven a Freightliner. What's a good budget 2011, 1911 to start with? T-Sauce and Gerson. They're both under $1,000 and give you a lot of features for the money. I'm an MSU fan. What about you? When it came to college ball when I was younger, I was an Alabama fan, a Florida Gators fan, and for a while I was a Minnesota Gopher fan. Would I grab an older Opel GT 80s model? I repainted one for a guy. No. They're not that good. I'm in Minnesota, believe me. Vikings aren't worth getting excited over ever. They'll let you down every time. If you live in Minnesota, then you will agree with me. Minnesota is the only state that has all professional farm leagues. So for every professional team, they have a farm league. So in baseball, it's like their AAAs or whatever, people that they can call up at any time. Minnesota has a history of creating legends, meaning that they will draft people, get them to be the best in the world, and then lose them to a better paying team. Look at Kevin Grant. Went to the Celtics to get his rings. I got my Pilot for $1,200. It has 285K on it. Starts up every time. Best $1,200. Yep. The worst thing about Honda is the freaking rust. Datsun pickup truck with no power steering fluid, and later switched to a '94 Crown Vic. There you go. I learned to drive manual in my girlfriend's 1998 Dodge Neon, and then I graduated to a race car. I learned stick on a motorcycle, lol. They sound good, though. Hondas will last forever. The ignition sucked, though. You know what's funny? You can bypass the ignition using the e-brake on older Hondas. Hey, Rocky, can you go get my Diet Coke? Can you go get my Diet Coke off the couch? Rocky, can you go get my Diet Coke? Can you go get me my Diet Coke? Can you get me my Diet Coke, please? Diet Coke. It's the bottle. The big gray bottle. It's like this big. Can you go get it for me? Can you get it for me? He's not even blinking his eyes together. He's that tired. Honda ignitions are split wafers, so they bend and break. I just remember when I used to be able to start all my Fords with a flat tip screwdriver. Mine is spotless rust-wise. I got it in Nevada, but I might start getting some up here if I don't keep up with it. The trans is surprisingly shifting decently smooth, too. Best cars ever. I would love, honestly, I would, no fucking, hate on it. I would like a second-generation Honda Pilot, and I want a current generation Prius. I don't know why. They look awesome. I'll tip Rocky. Dude, he gave you $2. You got to get my Diet Coke, bro. You gonna get me my Diet Coke? Bro, Diet Coke. Some of the pilots came with the J35, yeah. I wake up from a nap to the stream of people talking about cars. It's Good Friday, lol. Hello. Hey, Rashad, what's up, man? Yeah. I'm actually really liking my Jeep. So my Jeep is a 2019 Summit with the 5.7 Hemi in it. It's the top of the line model just below the SRT, but it's the top of the line base Hemi model that you could have gotten. And yeah, I love it. It's basically like my Durango. Stone, did you ever see my Durango? I don't remember if you ever saw my Durango. Sorry, I had to put on something to cover my stump so I could go and get my Diet Coke. Look at my ceiling. My ceiling's full of stuff. Okay, now I have a problem. I can either hold up my pants or hold my bottle of Diet Coke. Hi, buddy. Come on. Let's go. Run. Run. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. He's like, I don't give a fuck. You can try. I'll just bite your ass. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Can you sit down, doggy? Oh, no, buddy. So, come here. Let's show everybody what you're helping for. Come here. Let me see your face. So, he's got that one there. He's got... Nope, you gotta wait. You good. Got another one right there. And, right there. He's got one forming inside of his gum. So that's what your donations are going to. So the thing in the pinned comment, if you guys help out, will go to helping this little guy get his face fixed. Oh, and I just poked him in the eye. So it would also get him his new prosthetic eye. Harry Volkswagen is starting to ditch the sticks. Everybody's ditching manual transmissions because Americans decided they don't want them. In America, even though they only made up 7% of manual transmissions from manufacturers, are the important ones. All right, buddy. Here, I'll give you a treat. Here. Hi, Rocky. Yep. What do you think about 380 handguns? I want the Bodyguard 2.0. There you go. He carries them like cigars. It's hilarious. Hey, buddy, look at me. See? He sat there for minutes at a time with just that thing sticking out like a cigar. He's a good boy. Good boy, buddy. All right, you eat. We're done looking at. I won't stare at you while you're eating. Although I gotta pull my pantalones up. My pantalones, they are dropping down so people can see my butthole. And I might be wearing the wrong underwear. I'm wearing the Cher underwear. As in Cher the singer? No, as in I share my underwear with the internet. At least I'm not wearing the thong anymore. Captain Good Dog. Yeah, Rocky's about as good as a dog can be. He's way more than I deserve, which is why I'm willing to spend every fucking penny I have to keep him good. You drove your mom's Firebird the other day. Good, it needs to be driven, man. The longer you let stuff sit, so... What do you think about 380 handguns? Hi, Rocky. Oh, everybody loves you, Rocky. I don't even care that they're stopping production of manuals. I refuse to ever buy a new car anyways. Don't affect me in the slightest. So, agreed. Like, I could have bought a 2023 Durango with all the newer stuff, the newer dash, the newer interior, all that stuff, the newer dual screens. And it scares the frick out of me how complicated they're getting. Like, I have a 2019, which is still plenty modern. It's got everything. Lane keep, lane parallel parking, perpendicular parking, panoramic roof, remote start, keyless area. It's got everything, right? But every single one of those components can be replaced independently of each other. Yeah! My neighbor was fully modded 98 2JZ Supra. He says he can fly well over 200. A stock one could do like 175. It's not hard to get a 2JZ over 200. It's whether or not they stay reliable. You swap those twin turbo V6s or inline sixes to a single turbo, you get more turbo lag, but you can make 1,000 horsepower on a stock bottom end. What does XP on YouTube do? It just shows that you are a very strong supporter of the channel, Chris. So every time you comment, you earn XP, and you'll see you have a number 2 next to your name. You're not going to pass Grayson because of the amount of donations he gave the channel, but you are the number 2 contributor to the channel right now. I'm sorry I've asked, but got cut off before you answered. What is the firearm above the Beretta? That is a Chris Sphinx, Kriss, who makes the Vector. They imported that gun from Sphinx, Sphinx, out of Switzerland. They bought the guns off of them after Sphinx got shut down. It's a CZ75 based gun. However, it's got a three-piece frame like a 2011. Sphinx used to make some of the best race guns in the world until they got shut down for selling guns to Iran in 2016 when we were kind of enemies. Yeah. So that one is called the SDP Compact Alpha because it has the aluminum frame. Everything outside the trans and engines are complicated ASFF and diagnostic nightmares these days. Even the engines themselves have some. Oh, yeah, dude. Just all the different sensors and shit. So what was it? Scrap Life Lee was doing a build on a Hellcat, and it turns out that there were like 31 computers in his Hellcat that he had to replace. 31 computers. Each seat had a computer. The heat system had a computer. The dashboard display had a computer. So yeah, instead of a BCM, ECM done, it had BCM, ECM, TCM, HVAC CM, seat CM, Windows CM. You know, my RAM had a check engine light on because the outside temperature sensor didn't work. So it would throw a code because the power mirror didn't work. Yes, Evan, there are. Yeah, so when I was a mechanic full time, I was one of the first ones in my area for independent guys that had the Snap-on Solus. It was like a $10,000 handheld scanner back when touchscreens were first coming out for the scanners. My whole building is vibrating. But yeah, it was like a $10,000 scanner, and you still needed to buy modules to scan like Volkswagens and stuff. What's your take on the CZP09F turn? Because I just bought one and it has yet to arrive. I like the gun. It's an interesting concept. It basically was a replacement for the P07. It seems like a perfectly good gun to me. The way the used car market has become over the years, so used car prices have kept up with inflation, even though inflation is fake. My Jetta needed a programmer to release the e-brake and change the rear brakes. That's stupid. Boys, I'm starting a gun cleaning business in my area. Do y'all have any advice? You may want to consider still getting a gunsmithing license just to do cleanings because technically by federal law, if you have somebody else's gun for a service for more than 24 hours, you're technically supposed to put it on your books. Just taking random people's guns and cleaning them can lead to a lot of issues. So I would make sure that you get a license just so that you can do it. Sick, thanks. You're welcome, dude. Also, my Jetta. Also, yeah. Well, the Ford F-150 has all plastic plugs as well. I like my Nocturne. I do wish the stock trigger was better. Yeah. Well, you've got the Nocturne that I got for you, right? That was the one that I bought off a guy. Gun, 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 gun. Agreed. Gage, what's going on, dude? Bill Gates for president. Fuck no. Bill Gates isn't fucking a good presidential candidate. He spent so many years trying to do nonprofit organizations and still wound up divorced. Do you really want him running my fucking country? I don't think so. Give me a bowl of Captain Crunch. I really dislike that. I didn't have any issues with it, but it didn't seem like something that should be plastic. Yeah, you'd be surprised, but technically, like, that area of the pan doesn't get that hot, I guess. When are the sweaters dropping? I think I'll buy one. So I'm waiting for him to contact me back and tell me that he's willing to take my trade first. Otherwise, I got to come up with the money for the shirts. You can pre-order them. They're 45 plus shipping, so $50. Or you can buy them when they're officially made, and then they're $55. See the latest Honest Outlaw? He basically took a dump on the Glock V and Glock entirely. Yes, I haven't seen that particular one, but he did the disappointing guns of 2025, and Glocks were right on his list. Refuse to buy and keep supporting these crappy new cars when there's so many old cars out there for cheap with years of life left in them. Sadly, new cars are like this because of us consumers. Yep. Good to know. I'm going to start off just with the table at my local gun shows every month, and that won't take long, but if I expand, I'll probably get a gunsmith license. Yeah, if you're willing to do them, but you also have to be very clear that you are not responsible for any of the firearms if they're left past the closing time of the show. What the fuck is vibrating? Ah, god damn it. Fuck you, Diet Coke. That's why I don't like Diet Coke, dude. It tipped over and it exploded.
Sorry, buddy.
Dude, my whole building is vibrating. I think the HVAC is bad. No, it's not an earthquake. It's just the whole building is vibrating. It's not my computer doing it. Just because people want to walk into the dealership, pay $80K for these garbage ass cars to have the latest and greatest things in a nation created by us. Yep. Do you ever mess with any diesels? Not too many. I was into the 7.3s for a long time, and then I was into the old 6.5s before they turboed them. I was into the Ram 12 valves. I've never been into the modern stuff. Make sure you tell your customers what products you're using. Mountain Man, have a good night and God bless. You too, brother. Might not go past 10 o'clock myself. I thought I was going to do 3 hours, but we're a little bit light on topics. Could you be your box of toys going off? No, my vibrators make a lot more noise than this. 7Ds are sweet. 6.5 Detroit sound so good. Yeah. You ever seen a Banks twin turbo 6.5 though? He built one that revved to like 7,000 RPMs. I didn't even think you could do that with the diesel. You also got to remember that Banks designed the twin turbo setup for the Grand Nationals too. It wasn't twin charged. The one that I saw from Banks was just a straight twin turbo. He went with the twin turbo because you can spool the engine. That's a big difference too. If you're running a supercharger, that's for low end. If you go for turbo, that's for high end. No, never really got into the old international stuff. Out of all the cars you've owned, which one was your favorite? Probably my 2014 Mustang GT Track Pack. It was the first car I bought new after 17 years selling cars. Oh, I know why the building's vibrating. There's this dickbag that parks his semi in the parking lot and idles it all night. And I think it's resonating at the same frequency as the building because I just heard his air brake go off and the building stopped vibrating. Thinking about getting a Boombox 8.6 Blackout. What do you think? I don't know what the Boombox variant is, but the 8.6 Blackout is pretty good. Yeah, the Blackwing, yeah. My dad has a Grand National back in the day. Man, those were sweet cars. So I've had 6 Grand Nationals and 2 GNXs because the dealership I used to work for, we used to go to Chicago and buy repos. Like, we had a Boss 429 with a blown engine that we picked up for like $3,000 back in 2001. Yeah, so we used to buy all American cars. So we had Camaros, Mustangs, Thunderbird Super Coupes, Turbo Coupes, K5 Blazers, Broncos, all that shit all year round. So he would go and buy these cars, and he owed me so much money from selling these cars. He used to take like a check register and write down what he owed me every week because he couldn't afford to pay me in cash. And basically, he would get in like an Impala SS or a Grand National or a Fox Body, and I'd be like, "Fine, you owe me $7,000. I'll take that car for it." At one time, I owned a semi that we bought all of the Chicago U.S. Postal Service day cab trucks. Those are the ones used to move the trailers around. He bought like 15 of them for like $2,000 a piece, and we had to drive them all back. And he gave me one because he owed me like $10,000. Just tell him to leave then. It's not my property, and he has permission from the owner. That's actually insane. GNXs are like the Holy Grail. Yeah, but when we were buying them from Chicago in the early 2000s, they were just trash. They were just usually repo, dogged out ones. I sold one that had blown head gaskets to a guy in California. I bought it. It had been tubbed in the rear, so it was all cut up and shit. And I started it. Instant smoke coming out of the engine. I didn't feel like dealing with it. So we put it up for sale. I think I paid $8,000 for it, and I sold it for like 15, and now it's worth like 50. So I kicked myself a little bit. I don't know much about the cars, but I saw an old Mustang once. He entered 305 Boss. The thing looked nice. I also got to see a Shelby. So Bosses are cool. They were never as much power as like the Chevy variants. So like if you look at a Mustang GT from like 1995 versus a 350 LT1 Camaro, number one, the Camaros had the 6 speeds all the way back in '93. Mustangs didn't get them until 1999. The Camaros made 340 horse or 330 horse and like 260 foot-pounds of torque. The Mustangs made 240 horse and 300 foot-pounds of torque. So they actually made more torque than the Chevys did, but they weren't as fast. Had a lady call me and said he had a Chevy F-150. That was one confused transsexual. Yeah, I remember reading a story a long time ago. It was like Humor in the Workplace or something. A lady was bitching because her Ford Fizo wouldn't start. My Ford Fizo doesn't run. Remember the EV craze of 2020? I already thought it would straight up replace ICE. Glad people wised the frick up and snap back to reality. Oh, there goes Rabbity. Yes, so EVs were supposed to be the savior. They're not. Oh, guys, I'm tired. I'd like to get some sleep. I got more cleaning to do. Thank you guys that have come along, hit the like button, donated. All you fuckers are awesome. Rocky really appreciates it. I'll keep you guys updated on the daily here and on his GoFundMe. Once we figure out what's going on with his face. Like I said, he needs to recover. If he doesn't recover, there's a lot of newspapers going to write articles about me. Paul, you have a good night, man. The issue with the battery propulsion, when they are able to perfect something like hydrogen that's really convenient and easy, it'll replace the battery and charging shit just don't work. Yep. Joey, I'll let you know on those shirts, man. I should have my answer this weekend. But yeah, as you can see, the boy, he's dead tired. Hey, are you still breathing? Doesn't wake up for me, but he wakes up for a box that has two freaking... Hello, what the hell's that? I never saw the gift before. That's a piece of pumpkin pie. You good, buddy? Rocky loves you guys. Holy shit, you guys are amazing with the donations. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Hope Rocky feels better. Sleep well. Love you. Thanks, guys. John, Gabriel, thank you, guys. Dude, the pumpkin pie for 850 joules. Holy shit. Thank you, guys. John with the GG for 10 joules. Thank you, guys. Pumpkin pie. I will get him some pumpkin puree tomorrow. It's actually really good for dogs. He drinks lactate milk now, so that's good. Hey, Rocky, say goodnight. Say goodnight. All right, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.